Hello everybody and welcome back to Cask and Point. Today we are trying what I consider to be the new buff turkey. So buff turkey, as I'm sure many of you have heard already, was this crazy thing where Wild Turkey went to Buffalo Trace, had them distill some barrels, then they sat on those barrels for 15 years, they released them to the non-distilling producer market, and then we got them in the form of all these crazy single barrels. I think there were over 500 barrels, and there are still rumors today about how many barrels there actually are, if we're going to see buff turkey for all the many years to come, or if the craze is truly over, truly dead, and it's truly all sold out. We have no idea. But what we do know is that there's more things on the market, and this year, as many say, it's Barton 18's year. So Calumet 18, I've done a review on this bottle already. It's a contender for one of the whiskeys of the year. It's already in a lot of people's number 1, number 2, or number 3 spot for the year, competing only with things like Beacon and Jack Daniel's 14. And so, obviously, an incredible bottle. I'm quite the fan of it, and it comes in this absolutely incredible, gorgeous looking bottle, and there's a whole case. I actually did a YouTube short where I opened up the whole thing, so if you want to go check that out just to see all the different things that come with it, definitely go check that out. But anyways, that's what many people consider to be the whiskey of the year. But beyond Calumet 18, which is sourced from Barton, there are also some single barrels from Barton that are 18 years old that are in the similar lot that have similar flavor profiles that people are really intrigued by. So this bottle has an MSRP of $500, and a lot of these single barrels range in MSRPs ranging from around $400 to upwards of about $600. Some have even gone a little bit higher, so very interesting stuff right around the same price range. So the real question is, are they better? Because these single barrels, some of them are going to lean into a certain flavor profile that in a blend, you might get a lot of different flavor profiles working together in conjunction really well. And in a single barrel, you might only get one thing working really well. And that one thing could be way better, way worse. It's a single barrel versus a blended product. It's a tough comparison to make, but we need to find out if they're actually better. So today, we're going to try a bunch of them. So we have 5 different single barrel picks of the Barton 18 years. We have this Elkwood 18 year. This is a whiskey pope pick here. This is 129 proof. And I've tried a little bit of it already. It is very good. That's going to be fun to throw in. Then we have 3 picks from the Whiskey Blendery here that were actually sent to me by a good buddy of mine named Dean. So thank you so much, Dean, here. So going through them, we have 1792 Legacy. This is 124.6 proof. We then have Den 18. So Den is the name of the group in Dallas where they're just really active. It's a Discord group, and they have an Instagram page. That's kind of their name, so I assume this is their pick. That one is going to be 127.4 proof. I'm trying to do the math here. I have the ABVs down, so I'm just doing the math to get the proof. And then we have Very Very Old Barton, another pick. This is 128.4 proof. And then this Whiskey Pope pick is 129 proofs. And so we're working in the 120s here. And then the last thing is actually really interesting. This is a River Root sample. So this is 121.36 proof. And I could be picking this barrel. We're going to see. We're going to find out today. And why I'm not really considering this to be a barrel pick kind of video, because honestly, if it doesn't do exceptionally well in this blind today, I'm probably not going to take it. This is a very expensive barrel, and for the barrel group, I'd love to say that we can easily sell out on that many bottles. But honestly, it's a $400 or $500 bottle. It's like 85 yield. We need to see if it's really good first. So that's not really the main point of the video. The main point of the video is just to really try a bunch of different Barton 18s with you guys today and see if any of them are really that good, if any of them are beating Calumet 18, if all of them are beating Calumet 18, because of course I like to say a funny joke about this, which is the second I found out about the Barton 18 picks, I said every single group is going to claim that theirs is the one that's the Calumet killer. And then I've tried a few, and none of them have been Calumet killers. I mean, Calumet is solid whiskey, and some of them are definitely better, but killers? Come on. And some of them aren't better. They're worse. And everybody is going to claim that theirs is better. So I don't want to go out and claim that mine is better. So I'm doing this one. I haven't even picked one. And I don't even know if I'm going to pick it yet. So we'll see. But anyways, let's go right in here to glass number 1 and let's see what we're working with. Right off the nose, just a ton of rich oak on this one. We're going to get a lot of rich oaky notes on these. These are 18 years old and they taste 18 years old. In a way that I think the buff turkeys at 15, 16 years old actually kind of drink like 12 years old. A lot of them weren't really particularly oaky, and I like that. I mean, I really like the fruitiness on some of those buff turkeys. I do think that they lacked a certain complexity and depth that, so far, I've been getting on these Barton 18s. But again, we're going to do the real test today. Okay, this is, this is oaky. I'm not getting a ton else though, I will say. And there's a little bit of orange in there. More of like an orange zest. There's a little bit of lemon on this as well, like a lemon poppy note on it, which is interesting. It smells hot. It smells like 130 proof at least. And none of these are 130 proof. Okay, let's take a sip. Interesting. Actually, much better on the palate. So it definitely comes off with a ton of oak. And then that oak does ease into a nice blackberry note on it that I really enjoy. It's definitely hot. It's definitely punching. Now, to warm up for this video, I actually recorded the video that you guys saw a few days ago where we did the MGP 18-year bourbons. And so I'm kind of in the mode of nice old whiskey, which is also nice because that gives me a basis as to what else is out there that's this age. Obviously, Barton 18 years, they also do have MGP 18 years. We don't see much else in that age range. Heaven Hill 18, 20 years, whatever, are insanely expensive, especially in the single barrel world. So, anyways, no, this is solid. No, I'm not disappointed in this pour at all. Fruity. I will say it's oaky. It's good. Let's take another sip. Yeah, very oaky, very toasted on the second sip. And got like almost a double oaked kind of oakiness to that one, like real rich barrel char on it. Really pleasant on that. And then some really nice fruitiness, like kind of dark berry fruitiness on that one. That's solid. That's interesting. It's a good starting point. Let's go on to glass number 2. Interesting. Okay, so this one is definitely not like as pungent on the nose. It's actually like, it's a bit more elegant. Yeah, this one is just punching. It's like a ton of hot oak on this one. This one is more of like a sweet oak on it, which I do really like. There's some vanilla on this, which is also really pleasant. Some orange on this for sure. A little bit of cherry, not a ton. Okay. This also smells like, I don't know, if that one smelled 135 proof, let's say, this one is like, I don't know, 128 proof or something. So, I guess definitely in the range of what any of these could be. So, makes sense. Oh, that is nice. Okay, let's take a sip. Oh, it's nice. Super viscous. Great mouthfeel on that one. A lot of vanilla on that one. Not really getting a ton of fruit, but I do like that one as well. Yeah, that is very different from the first one. The first one, I'm getting a lot more berries, and I was also getting like a hotter oak to it. And this one, to me, is actually a little less oaky, which is actually kind of nice. It's still very oaky. And the viscosity on this, I mean, the viscosity on the first one was good, and this second one is really good. And I know the Calumet 18 has a really nice viscosity on it as well, so I don't know if either of these have been Calumet 18. I'm really not going to make my guesses today because I haven't had most of these, and I honestly haven't even had Calumet 18 that many times, so there's no way to know what's Calumet 18 here. But no, this one is very pleasant. Good mouthfeel, good viscosity, tons of vanilla. Let's take a second sip. Wow. Yeah, super vanilla, maple forward. A little bit of like orange marmalade on it. A little bit of dark berries towards the late palate. That is good. I think I like it slightly more than glass number 1. Not by a ton, I don't think. But, you know, things tend to change a lot when we go back and do them. So I'm not going to make too many opinions this early on. Let's go on to glass number 3. Okay, wow, it smells like really rich oak. I will say this one does have a little bit of the nuttiness on it. So Barton oak sometimes kind of mixes with this like interesting nutty flavor on it. It's like a walnut kind of thing going on. And it's not bad. I don't mind the nuttiness. I typically enjoy when Barton gets fruity or where it gets really sweet, like the kind of vanilla or whatever. I don't typically love that nuttiness just in relation to other things, but it's not a bad note. And this one is actually giving me surprisingly like green candy on it. I'm getting a green apple on this, which is fun. Smells hot though. I mean, for something that's like mid 120s proof, I think these are all, you know, give or take mid 120 proof. I guess that's 118 and that's the lowest proof that we're working with. I just wouldn't expect that kind of tinge on the nose that I typically get off of like 145 proof. That's weird. Now I have let these sit for about 20-25 minutes here, so I don't know what else I could have done. These are punching. Even though they're mid 120s proof, they're punching. They're not light pours. Let's take a sip. Okay, it's good. It's actually not nearly as complex as either of the first two. I think I kind of had that like green apple candy note. It's really unique, really interesting. I think there's definitely some oakiness on it, and there's definitely the backbone of like some vanilla, some caramel, some spices, stuff like that. But it's actually, this one I actually don't love. Now, a lot of this is also, do I think this is worth $400, $500, $600? And I'll say right now, I don't think this one is. Those other two, I could debate those a lot more. Actually, I really like those two. This third one, I don't know. It's just kind of simpler. And the thing is, I really like Barton 9, 10, 11 years. I've had probably 300 different Barton. Is that right? 300? I've had like 40 different KOAs. I've had some Hartfield. Okay, not 300, but I've had over 100. I've probably had 150 different kind of mid-aged Bartons in the last year. And you know, they're really good. For $150, I really don't complain about many of them. And the fact that we have some 13-year hazmats now for like $250, for these to be worth 400, 450, 500, I mean, there has to be something unique about them. And what I've gone off Calumet 18 on some of these picks is like that really rich viscosity on it, that mouthfeel on it, the real depth to it that you just can't get on younger ages. And that's what'll make it worth it. Whereas I think some of these, and I have had one, you know, at least one of these before, that's just a little bit flatter, a little bit less complex, doesn't have nearly as good of a mouthfeel. Those to me are run fast bottles because they just are good. They're $200 good, but they're really not anywhere near worth the $450, $500 mark. The bar here is really high for these. These are not cheap bottles at all. I mean, just these half ounces here, we're looking at what, 3 ounces? We're looking at like $70 worth of whiskey here. Yeah, the bar's high. Okay, let's take a second sip. It's good. It's good. I can't say it's a bad bottle. Definitely oakier on the second sip. But it's kind of green apple candy, oak. And it doesn't have any of the dark berries. It doesn't have any orange. It doesn't have really much vanilla at all in the palate. Maybe a little bit of vanilla. But honestly, finish is just kind of tannic and oaky. And some of these are definitely over oaked. And look, unfortunately, I mean, these are all picks that people have done. So, like, I hate saying that somebody's pick isn't great or somebody's pick isn't whatever, but we're honest here on this channel, all right? And you know what? Don't be offended. It's my palate. If some people really like certain things here, because there are people that have spent a lot of money on some of these bottles. And look, if you enjoy your whiskey, I'm happy for you. I'm glad for you. I am just saying my opinion here. I like to remind people of that sometimes because I understand it's a lot of money on the line here, and people own these bottles and enjoy these bottles, but this one to me is third. It's not particularly close. I like 1 and 2 a lot more. Let's go on to glass number 4. Oh, this one is nice. There's a nice oakiness to it, a nice fruitiness on it too. Really nice balance on it. So I will say right now, most reminiscent of the Calumet 18. Like I said, though, I haven't had Calumet. I mean, I guess I've had it 3 times. I had a 1 ounce sample that I tried twice, and I've cracked this bottle already and had it. So I had it 3 times. This is my 4th, maybe 5th time trying it. I tend to take very small pours, so there's not much out of that bottle. But I have hit that bottle at least 2 or 3 times now. That is nice. So let's take a sip. Okay. It's good. It's fruity on the front palate. Actually, it's surprisingly tannic on the mid-late palate there. Huh. And, yeah, I really like the nose, and I really like the front palate. I mean, those two are great. When we get really oaky in the mid-late palate, like the finish is pure tannic oak on that. Huh. I recall liking Calumet 18 more. I will just say that. I'll say the nose is reminiscent of Calumet 18. It's just possible, I think, trying it against other things that are similar, trying it, not it on its own, but really sitting down with it. It's possible this just isn't as good as I remember. It's possible. I mean, hey, that's okay. That happens. It's still really good. And also, I shouldn't say Calumet 18 because I have no idea if it's Calumet 18. I mean, these aren't the most different things in the world from each other. All right? We're not comparing like a crazy malt whiskey to like a rye whiskey to like look, we're looking at 18-year Bartons. The nose here though is really nice, and there's a nice mouthfeel on this. I think much better than a mouthfeel on 1 and 3 here. Mouthfeel on 2 is really nice. Okay, a ton of tannic going again mid palate here. I just want to smell this. smells really nice, very fruity. I'm getting the cherry on it. I'm getting some dried fruit on that. I'm getting some berries on that. Definitely getting your typical caramel. Definitely getting the vanilla on that. You know, I got toasted barrel char. Like, this is a nice balance on the nose. Okay, let's take a second sip here. Wow, it's good. It's good. I think I like 1 and 2 more. I think I like 3 less. It's more complex than 3. And that nose is really carrying. I love a good nose in a whiskey because you know what? You could smell something all day and it doesn't cost you any calories. It doesn't cost you any health issues. It doesn't get you drunk. You just smell something all day. So I am one to really appreciate noses. I understand that some people say you could go smell a candle. All right, the complexity you could get off of a nose of like an 18-year bourbon, the smell on that is unique and it's interesting in a way that like, look, like the Sistine Chapel, all right? People talk about the nose on the Sistine Chapel, how great it smells when you walk in. There's a great Goodwill Hunting scene about that, all right? I've been to the Sistine Chapel. I've looked up at the beautiful ceiling. I've smelled the incredible like wood varnish aroma that's in there, all right? The only thing that comes close to that, the only thing that is comparable is really nice aged whiskeys, okay? So smell is important too. I don't know why I told that whole story. Let's go on to glass number 5. Okay. This one is not jumping out with a ton of fruit. It's definitely giving me some nice caramel on it and some nice oak. This one's hot. Not as hot as the last, actually. The last 2 on the nose, oh, I'll say, I think the best nose here is probably either 2 or 4. I don't know. I don't know how I want to rank these just yet. I think these 2 are in the back. Actually, these 2 I will have to revisit. Good nose. It's good nose. It's not as hot as some of these have been. Very sweet though. Tons of vanilla on this one as well. Tons of caramel on this. On the nose, pretty reminiscent of glass number 2 here. A little hotter though. Let's take a sip. Okay. That's actually really funky. So, it starts off with just a ton of maple, which is nice. Then gets into like the nice green apple candy that I was kind of getting off of 3. And then that dissipates almost immediately and goes into like super rich oak. Like that is so clearly a single barrel to me because I think if you blended multiple barrels with different flavor profiles, like it would have to look different. Like this is screaming single barrel to me, all right? Just is a very unique, very straightforward, like I don't know. Single barrels sometimes do this thing where it's like, dude, how can something have that kind of development in the front, mid, late palate? Like, somebody could not have blended that and wanted it to be exactly like that, which also means that this is very unique, very special, very interesting. Like, and that's the magic of single barrels, right? That is just yelling single barrel to me. I do not think this is the Calumet 18. That does not narrow down at all. There are 5 options here. This is good, though. This is good. I might like it more than these 2 here, but let's take another sip here. Okay. It is actually nice. It is actually nice. It's closer to these top 2. I will say, on the late palate there, that's where it gets really tannic and really oaky. And it's pretty reminiscent of glass number 4 there, but it's not nearly as tannic and oaky. So really tannic and oaky, which is kind of pulling me back from it. Like there's a strong pepper on it. I don't know. Its front palate is really top notch. Its mid-late palate just isn't totally there. And I don't know. We're looking at whiskey here. I will say the worst whiskey here, I'm going to say is worth at least $250, $300. Like, we're not looking at bad whiskey here at all. And for the people that are fortunate enough to have the money to be able to buy multiples of these bottles, like, I don't think you could go wrong with a lot of these. But, you know, there are winners, there are losers here. So far, I think I'm looking at a ranking something like this here. I don't know if 2 or 1. I also, like, when we go back, 1 sometimes is very different, and I want to go back to, I don't know. Let's go on to glass number 6. Okay. Wow. I mean, it's hot on the nose. Okay, very oaky, very orange zest. So right off the nose, I'm not liking this as much as some of these others. I think the nose on at least these 4 was better. I don't know. That one is just simple. That's probably going to be my least favorite of the day. And that's the River Roots. We ain't picking the River Roots. Like, yeah, okay. Let's take a sip. but palate's better. Palate's better. It's interesting because the picks that I've tried so far, I didn't get that kind of green apple on it, but now this is 3 of them that I think have that kind of green apple, which is actually really nice. Interesting note, I don't typically get that on a lot of whiskeys, so doing well there. Doesn't get super tannic, oaky, mid-late palate. It doesn't really fall off. I will say it is kind of similar in glass 3 in that it's also just kind of simple. Like, I'm looking for a lot of complexity here. I'm looking to pull out 10, 15 notes on these. I'm looking to get a very full body experience when I'm paying this kind of money. And I'm not totally convinced that these are all there. Are they unique? Yes. Are they great? Yes. Are they worth $500? I don't know. Some of them are. Some of them definitely are. Not all 6 of them. Definitely not all 6 of them. Let's take a second sip here. Okay. That one's good, and I really like that it doesn't get super tannic and oaky. I think I'm getting the green apple candy that I really enjoyed in some other ones. I'm also getting a really nice vanilla on it. I'm also getting a decent oak structure. I will say, though, not drinking 18 years old. Like, it's maybe 14 years old. You could tell me that and I would totally believe you. 18 years old, it doesn't have that kind of oak structure on it. It doesn't have that richness, the depth of the oak. It doesn't get peppery. It doesn't get into like a toasted, almost like, I think one of these I said it was almost like a double oaked with how oaky it was. That's not that one. And that's, honestly, it's holding it back a little bit here, so I shouldn't put it that high. I think we're somewhere in this range. I think a lot of things are going to change as we go back here. So, you know what? Let's start where I think is the bottom, and let's see what's going on here. So, in glass number 3 here, it's still kind of simple to me. Simplicity is not what I'm looking for in these whiskeys. I'm not looking for daily sippers. I'm not looking for easy sippers. I'm not looking for crushable pours. All right, you want a crushable pour, $100. Great crushable pours in the world at that price range, and I'd be really happy. But I am not looking for crushable whiskey in this price range, just being honest with you guys. Some of you guys I know really like crushable whiskey, and that's okay. And you know what? If you have this kind of money and you want to buy a crushable bottle, go for it. It's your money. I want depth. I want complexity. I want something that I could take a ½ ounce of and walk out and be really happy with the rest of my day. I don't even have to have another pour if I don't want one. Like that is enough whiskey to really say, wow, I had a lovely pour today. Let's go on with my day. Anyways, let's take this final sip here. Wow, that's good. That is good, but it's not great. It's not great. I am going to rate that. Oh, this feels, I'm going to rate that an 8.3. I'm going to say that's like $200. I wouldn't mind that, but I've had 9 years that are better. I've had 12, 13 years that are definitely better. I don't love that one. I obviously have no idea what it is. I haven't had anything like it. All these green candy ones, I have no idea. I think my only guess at this point is that I think glass 4 might be Calumet 18. But honestly, beyond that, like I've tried this. None of them are super recognizable to that one that I had. So I don't know. We're going to find out here. But let's see. Glass. Let's mix it up. Let's go to glass number 5. Oh, it's hot on the nose. With the mouthfeel on it, so much better than glass number 3. Trying those back to back. Even though this one does get pretty tannic and pretty oaky, I don't think it gets as tannic as oaky as some of these. And I think it has a really nice sweet front palate on that one. That one is the first one I would say is like it's closer to worth like $350 for me. Like I can't say it's worth $400 or $425 or $450 or $480 or $600 or whatever they are. But that one starts to get into a more serious range for me. That one I'm going to say, it's actually a lot better. I'm going to say it's an 8.6. Like I think we start to really get into business with that one. That one I start to say if a group pick that and it's $450 a bottle, I start saying, you know what? If you have the buyers, you know what? Fair enough. Let's go on to glass number 1. Nice aged oak on it. This one's good. Let's take a sip. I think the problem with this one is the mouthfeel. I think it has some nice dark berries on it, which I really enjoy. I think it starts getting really oaky towards the mid-late palate, which is fine. We're seeing a lot of that here. I think its issue is it doesn't have that viscosity and the mouthfeel that I'm getting on a lot of these other ones. And that's really holding it back. Because I think it actually, of flavor profile wise, it's one of my favorite. I think it's top 3 in pure flavor profile, but we also have to ask how well does it do that flavor profile? Does it have the mouthfeel? Does it have the viscosity? Does it have the length of the finish? All those other things. And to me, it doesn't. It doesn't. It's still really good. It's still something that I would say, like, if it was $300, I wouldn't complain. At $450, $500, it's harder to justify. I don't know. I'm going to rate that an 8.5. I'm going to still say it's still much better than glass number 3 here. I don't know what glass number 3 is. I'm going to say glass number 5 here is definitely still my favorite. Glass number 1 is my second. All right, let's go on to, let's see, we have 2, we have 4, and we have 6 left. Let's go to 4. That nose might be the best nose. Okay. Yeah, I think this has the best nose. Because it has a really nice fruitiness on the nose. Like more fruit than any of these have on the nose. And it has the cherry with the berries, with the orange, with all these other things. That nose is incredible. It's the palate that's going to struggle. Let's see. It's a really nice front palate. And then it gets super tannic, super oaky. It gets really not what I'm looking for in a bottle of whiskey. It kind of gets like the double oakiness on it, but in a bad way. Like, it's almost like double barrel blend in that kind of like really hot oak, but then none of the goodness of it. And even stronger in like the tannic parts of that oak structure. I like it a lot. I'm gonna say it's an 8.5 as well, which is to say, if that is the Calumet 18, which I suspect it might be, it's still, like, for whiskey of the year, I can't really complain. Price aside, like that's really top 5. But including the price here, it's a $300 bottle in $500 packaging. I don't know. I will say that it's worse, definitely worse than this glass number 5. I really like this glass number 5 here. I mean, just thinking about this more, this one's a winner to me. If that's the River Roots, that's the River Roots, I would consider picking that one. For this glass number 4 here, my question is it better than glass number 1 and glass number 2 and glass number 6? No, I will take glass number 1 over it, but it is very close. I think we'll go on. I really like 2 and I really like 6 as well. Okay, let's go on to glass number 2 here. Super vanilla forward. I mean, really vanilla forward on this. There's almost like a gingerbread note on it, which is interesting. But it's Barton. it's good, but okay, let's take a sip. What I'm surprised about, I don't understand how that one is like super potent on the front and mid-late palate here. Tons of vanilla. There's no fruit. There is no fruit on that, but it has a really nice mouthfeel and viscosity on it. It's gonna be better than these 3. I think 2 and 5 here, I could debate it a little bit more. I really like it though. Like, to be clear, I mean, we're at, I think, 8.6, 8.5, 8.5, 8.3. Then we're at least 8.6 here, might be 8.7. We're gonna find out. Okay, let's go on to glass number 6. Okay, that's good. That's really good as well. That's also better than I think these. We have a top 3 here. And I wish I had poured a little bit more so that we could revisit them, but I didn't. So let's think about this here. I think this is going to be definitely in 3rd. 8.6, 8.5, 8.5, 8.3. I think in glass number 5 here, we have a nice orange candy to it. But it doesn't have the mouthfeel. Like, 2 has the mouthfeel. But it's really oaky. Like, 2 is really oaky in a way that I think these last 2 here could be 13, 14 years old. You have to like oak to like that one. It's very vanilla forward. It's very sweet. And honestly, the oak plus the vanilla, I'm going to say that's the winner, and I'm going to rate it an 8.7. I think 8.6, 8.6, 8.5s, and 8.3. Okay, let's find out what we're having. I think if the top 3 are River Roots, I would consider doing it. I still think that it's going to take some polling from the group and see if we're really that interested. I think if it's the last 3 here, I don't know. I'm kind of out on it. But, okay, let's see. This is number 2. Wow, so I think this is the lowest proof. This is going to be the 1792 Legacy from the Whiskey Blendery here. Interesting. Okay. Not too shabby here. That was the lowest proof too. Yeah, sure. Okay, cool. So that is going to be in our 6th place here. I don't really know where to put the sample here. And I'll show a photo on your screen of the bottle, but I don't know. So that's in 6th place here. In 5th place here, I think we said it was this one. Okay, that is the Calumet 18. Okay, we made one guess and we were right. Yeah, it's giving like blended characters. Like it really has an incredible balance to it and that nose is incredible. And then it's super tannic and oaky. I still really like it overall as a pour. I think when I start thinking, you know, $500, not really. I paid $400 for that bottle plus tax, so I got it for about $425. If I could justify $100 for an absolutely gorgeous bottle and an absolutely cool box, I'm not mad about it. So I'm not mad about it. Yeah, it's fine. All right, whatever. Let's go on to glass number 1 here. This is going to be glass number 3. So this is, which one is this? So that is the Den 18 on that one. So that's another Whiskey Blendery one. That's interesting here. So yeah, sure, cool. We're actually going up in proof on the picks. So this is, I think, the 2nd lowest of the 4 picks, excluding the River Roots. So I guess the 3rd highest pick, I don't know. Okay, so it looks like we have the River Roots. We have this elk, which is interesting. The first time I visited this elk, it was very dark berry forward. So I was expecting actually this one could be that elk, but it's not. So let's go on here. Glass number 6 is, okay, that's the elk. Huh. It's not as dark berry forward as I remember. That's super interesting. Huh. So we have a Den left, and then we have actually the highest proof of the Dens, and then we have the River Roots. So I will say right now, not bad on the River Roots showing, but I don't know. It's expensive barrel. Okay, let's see. Okay, sure. That's the Den. River Roots 1. Yeah, of course it did. Sure. I still don't know if I want to pick it. And I think if we really take a step back here and we really look at these whiskeys on their own, like if we look at the market at large, are these better than Buff Turkeys on average? I think so. I mean, we were, besides this 8.3, we were at an 8.5 to an 8.7. That average range would be like the top end of Buff Turkeys, and the fact that every single one of these other than one got there, that alone, very interesting, okay? Number 2, we're looking at just such expensive bottles. There are Barton 9s out there that are really good that I've rated into the mid and high 8s, and those are really special barrels. I don't know. I'm trying to convince myself to not pick this, which is kind of funny because it's just such an expensive barrel of whiskey that, I don't know. I wasn't really trying to think of the picks here, and I said, you know, if it wins, I'll start considering it. Super oaky and super vanilla. I don't know. The palate's great, and the viscosity is, I don't know. I might pick that barrel. We'll see. But anyway, I hope you guys had fun with this one. This is what I consider to be the new Buff Turkey. This is really crazy that I think we're going to see a lot of in the next few months. And I think we might see something really interesting that I think some barrel groups are going to buy these barrels and they're going to say, wow, I don't think we could have afforded that barrel. We probably shouldn't have bought it. And now here we are. And I don't want that to happen with our group. So we're going to find out what happens. But anyways, I hope you guys had fun. This is a very fun video. We had some really incredible whiskey today. Some very nice aged old whiskey today. This was definitely a treat. I'm definitely in a great mood. I hope you guys are too. We'll have a lovely rest of your day. And I'll catch you all in the next one.